Feel that for a moment. Do not search for it. Just allow yourself to notice what is already there. A warmth, low in the belly, or perhaps higher, just beneath the breastbone. For some of you, it is a heat that has been rising for weeks, a strange and unseasonal fever that leaves you restless in the night, kicking off the sheets. For others, it is a profound ache in the hips, a feeling of being rooted to the spot, unable to move forward or backward, a beautiful, terrible stillness. And for so many of you, it is a quiet hum behind the eyes, a pressure that feels like unshed tears for a grief you cannot name, or a joy so long awaited it feels dangerous to finally claim. This is not random. This is not fatigue. This is not anxiety in its usual form. What you are feeling in the cells of your body is a resonance. It is the echo of a great bell being struck in the cosmos, and your body, your wise and ancient body, is simply vibrating with the sound. The heat you feel is the friction of a cosmic gear turning, one that has not been in this exact position with this much force for 8 years. Venus, the great vintner of the heavens, has come home. She has entered the deep, verdant, unshakable earth of her own sign, Taurus, and she is at the peak of her power. This is not the flighty, curious Venus of the air signs, nor the searing, passionate Venus of the fire signs. This is Venus in her workshop. This is Venus with her hands in the soil, her feet on the ground, her gaze fixed on the long and patient work of cultivation. And her gaze, right now, is fixed on you. Within the next 72 hours, a sorting is taking place, a great reevaluation. The celestial ledgers are being opened, and the currency is not what you think. It is not love, not in the way the songs and poems have taught you. It is value. True, intrinsic, non-negotiable value. And this alignment is here to ask one question and one question only of every corner of your life. What is truly worth keeping? Stay with me. Let me show you what is happening beneath the surface. I'm going to walk you through the great cellar of the heart, where everything you have ever loved, ever chosen, ever committed to, has been aging. Some things have turned to vinegar. Some have become the rarest of wines. This is the moment of tasting, and the ranking of the signs, the order in which you are called, is not a contest. It is not about who is most blessed or who is most challenged. It is simply the vintner's workflow. Some are at the harvest, some are at the press, and some are in the sacred darkness of the cask, fermenting into something new. Find yourself in this process. Recognize the work that is being done upon you, because the gate to this cellar does not stay open forever. We begin with the harvest, with the signs that are being asked to release their grip on the vine. This is a moment of profound severance, but not of loss. It is the necessary cut that allows for the creation of something that will last. At the 12th position, the place of completion and surrender, we find Pisces. For you, dear Pisces, the heat in the body is a mist. It is a steam rising from the earth after a long rain. You have been feeling for months, perhaps years, a sense of dissolving. The edges of who you thought you were, the definitions of the relationships you held so dear, the very shape of your future, have been growing soft, blurry. There is a voice that has been whispering to you in dreams. This is not it. This career, this connection, this way of being, this is not the vessel that can hold the truth of who you are becoming. Venus in Taurus is not a force you feel as a shock, but as a final, gentle saturation. It is the last rain that makes the grape so heavy, so full of sugar and sun and story that it can do nothing else but fall from the vine. Your work right now is not to cling. Your work is not to fight the dissolution. Your work is to allow the surrender you have been rehearsing for so long. The great lie you have been telling yourself is that if you let go, you will be left with nothing. The truth is, you are being emptied to make room for everything. The ache in your body is the ache of being overripe. The relationships that are ending, the paths that are closing, are not failures. They were the vine. They provided structure and nourishment for a season. But you were never meant to live on the vine. You were meant to become wine. The ranking for you is last, only because you are at the end of a vast cycle. You are the final grape to be plucked before the press. Your task in these coming days is to say thank you to the vine, and then to let go, willingly. At the 11th position, we find Gemini. The restlessness you feel, the desire to be anywhere but here, is the harvest wind. For you, Venus in Taurus is grounding you so profoundly it feels like a cage. You, the winged messenger, the eternal student, are being asked to land, to sit still long enough to see what is actually grown in the garden of your life versus what you have merely talked about growing. The heat you feel is in your throat and in your hands, a frustration, a desire to explain, to renegotiate, to find a clever way out of this sudden, earthy stillness. But there is no way out. There is only through. The unnamed truth you have been avoiding is that your words and your reality have been out of alignment. You have spoken of connection while practicing distance. You have spoken of commitment while keeping one foot out the door. You have spoken of value, but you have scattered your energy, your brilliant, beautiful energy, on 1,000 things that bear no fruit. This is not a judgment. It is an observation from the great vintner. She sees the potential in you, the vibrant complexity of your spirit, and she is saying, it is time to choose one patch of earth. It is time to be real. The relationships that are feeling strained right now are the ones that have been built on clever words rather than consistent presence. The career paths that feel hollow are the ones that fascinate your mind but do not feed your soul. Your ranking is not a measure of your worth, but a measure of the urgency to consolidate. To bring your magnificent mind home to your body, to your heart, and to a single, sacred promise. Your task is to stop talking and start tending. At the 10th position, the harvest continues with Virgo. For you, the call is not about what to release, but how. You have already done the accounting. You have a list. You have known for a long time what is no longer viable, what relationship has expired, what duty has become a prison. Your perfectionism, your deep desire to do things the right way, has kept you tethered to the vine long past the season of its ripeness. You are afraid of making a mess. You are afraid of the chaos of the harvest. You want to sever things cleanly, without causing pain, without leaving loose ends. Venus in Taurus is here to tell you something devastatingly simple. There is no clean way to leave a world behind. The heat you feel is in your gut, a churning, a digestive fire trying to process all the things you have swallowed to keep the peace. The tension in your shoulders is the weight of carrying responsibilities that are no longer yours to carry. The great vintner is not asking you to be perfect. She is asking you to be honest, to honor the fruit by cutting it free, even if the cut is jagged, even if the juice spills. The myth of the clean break is the lie that has kept you stuck. Your relationships are being tested now, not by love, but by truth. The ones that can withstand the messy, honest, imperfect reality of your needs will remain. The others will fall away. And it will be messy, and it will be necessary. Your task is to allow the imperfection of the harvest, to choose the truth, even if it shatters the beautiful, sterile container you have built around your heart. And at the 9th position, the final sign of the harvest is Sagittarius. You, the great archer, have been aiming your arrow at a distant horizon for so long you have forgotten the feeling of the earth beneath your feet. The heat you feel is in your thighs, a desperate urge to run, to expand, to escape. But Venus in Taurus has put a fence around your field, a beautiful, strong, immovable fence. You are being asked to find your freedom not in the next destination, but in the ground you are already standing on. This feels like a punishment. It is not. It is a gift. You have been valuing freedom from things, freedom from commitment, freedom from stillness, freedom from the mundane. The vintner is here to teach you about freedom, too. The freedom to go deep, the freedom to build something that lasts, the freedom to be so rooted in your own truth that you no longer need to run from the truths of others. The unnamed truth you carry is a deep fear of being trapped. But the greater trap is the one you have built for yourself, a life of perpetual motion that prevents anything of true substance from taking root. The relationships that feel constricting are mirroring this fear back to you. They are asking, can you stay? Can you be here now, with me, in the beautiful, boring, profound reality of this moment? Your task is not to break down the fence. It is to walk its perimeter, to learn the shape of your own land, to discover the wild, untamed universe that exists within a committed space. The harvest for you is the harvest of 1,000 possible futures in exchange for one real, tangible present. Now, we move from the harvest to the press. This is where the pressure is applied, where the skin is broken and the essence is revealed. This is not punishment. This is extraction. The signs in this phase are feeling the squeeze. They are being asked to surrender their form, to reveal their substance. At the 8th position, we find the first sign of the press, Cancer. Your heart is the grape in this moment, soft-skinned, full to bursting, and now feeling the immense, unyielding pressure of truth. The heat for you is in your chest, a deep oceanic swell of emotion that threatens to overwhelm you. You feel everything so intensely right now. The echoes of old heartbreaks, the ghosts of past attachments, the fierce, protective love you hold for your chosen family. Venus in Taurus is applying a steady, grounding pressure to this emotional world. It is asking you to distinguish between what nourishes you and what simply fills a void. The great lie you have been living is that your shell is your home. You believe that your safety lies in retreating, in holding things in curating a private world where you will not be hurt. But the shell has become the press. The pressure you feel is coming from the inside out. Your own unmet needs, your own unspoken truths, are pressing against the walls of your own defenses. The great vintner says, "The juice is the point. Let it flow." The relationships being tested are the ones where you have been over-giving, mothering others at the expense of your own well-being. The pressure is forcing you to see where your care has become a form of control, and where the love you receive is conditional upon your service. Your task is to allow the shell to crack, not to be destroyed, but to open. To let the truth of your own needs, your own vulnerability, your own immense heart flow out into the world. It is terrifying. It is also the only way to make the wine. At the 7th position, Libra, the press feels personal. It feels like an injustice. You, the keeper of balance, the master of harmony, are being placed in situations that are profoundly, irrevocably unbalanced. The heat is in your kidneys and lower back, a physical manifestation of the weight of impossible decisions. You are being forced to choose. And for you, choice often feels like a form of violence, a disruption of a fragile peace. You are being pressed between two realities, two relationships, two possible futures, and the pressure is demanding you reveal your true allegiance. Your devotion to fairness has become a shadow. In your quest to be fair to everyone, you have been profoundly unfair to yourself. You have silenced your own desires, compromised your own values, and mediated away your own truth to keep the scales even. Venus, your ruling planet, in her most uncompromising sign, is here to shatter those scales. She is telling you that true balance is not about finding the middle ground between a truth and a lie. It is about standing fully on the side of your own soul. The unnamed truth is that you already know which choice you have to make. You have known for a long time. You have simply been unwilling to bear the discomfort of the ensuing conflict. The press is here to show you that the pain of indecision is now greater than the pain of decision. Your task is to choose, to disappoint someone, to be, for a moment, the agent of imbalance in order to restore a deeper, more authentic harmony within yourself. This is your moment of radical honesty. At the 6th position, we find Capricorn. The pressure for you is structural. The very foundations of the life you have so carefully, so painstakingly built are being tested. The heat you feel is in your knees and in your bones, a deep, resonant stress test on your ambitions, your career, and your definition of success. You have built a fortress, and now the great vintner is knocking on the gate, asking if the king is home, asking if the person living inside the fortress is the same person who built it. The reversal statement for you is this: this is not a test of your strength. This is a test of your integrity. You have proven you are strong. You have proven you can endure, you can build, you can achieve. Now, Venus is asking, but does it have heart? Is the empire you have built a true expression of your soul's value, or is it a monument to your fear of scarcity? Is your ambition fueled by passion or by a relentless need for external validation? The press is squeezing your structures to see if they are hollow. The relationships under pressure are the ones that are transactional, the ones that serve a purpose but lack genuine intimacy. Your career is under pressure to see if it is a calling or just a climb. You are being asked to bring your heart into your work, your vulnerability into your power. The lie has been that you have to choose between them. The truth is that your greatest power will only be unlocked when you allow your heart to become the foundation of everything you build. Your task is to take an honest inventory of your kingdom and to have the courage to tear down anything you built for fear rather than for love. At the 5th position, the final sign of the press is Aries. The pressure for you is the pressure of the pause. You, the tip of the spear, the primal spark of initiation, are being asked to stand still. This feels like death. The heat you feel is in your head, a ramming, restless energy with nowhere to go. Every impulse is being met with a wall. Every forward motion is being checked. The universe is putting you in a divine timeout, and it is infuriating. This is not a punishment, it is a recalibration. You have been moving so fast for so long, driven by the pure, beautiful instinct of your will, that you have not stopped to feel the impact of your own momentum. You have been valuing action over intention. The great vintner has stopped the press to ask, what are you fighting for? Not against, but for. What is the deep, abiding value that lies beneath the surface of your relentless drive? Is it a value you chose consciously? Or is it a reaction to an old wound, an old story about having to fight to survive, to exist? The relationships being tested are the ones that have been caught in the crossfire of your unexamined impulses. The pressure is forcing you to see the collateral damage of your own fire when it is not guided by a conscious heart. Your task is to surrender to the stillness, to sit in the uncomfortable fire of your own unspent energy and allow a deeper purpose to reveal itself. You are being asked to learn the difference between a reaction and a response, to temper your sword not in the blood of your enemies, but in the deep, cool well of your own self-worth. When the press releases you, your aim will be true. We move now into the deepest part of the cellar, into the dark. The signs in this phase are not in action, but in transformation. They are in the cask, sealed away from the light where the alchemy happens. This is a time of unseen growth, of profound internal shifts. It is quiet, it is potent, and it can feel incredibly lonely. At the fourth position, entering the sacred darkness, we find Aquarius. For you, the call to ferment is a call out of the collective and into the self. You live in the future, in the network, in the grand design of humanity. The heat you are feeling is a strange sense of detachment, of alienation from the very groups and ideals you have championed. It feels like your signal has been lost. You are broadcasting, but no one is receiving. This is intentional. The great vintner has unplugged you from the hive mind so you can hear the frequency of your own heart. The lie you have been living is that your value is tied to your contribution to the group, to your revolutionary ideas, to your vision for a better world. These things are beautiful. They are true, but they are not the source of your worth. The source is within. You are being sealed in the cask to discover what you, the individual, truly believe, value, and desire, separate from any ideology or collective agreement. The relationships under review are the ones based on shared ideals, rather than genuine heart-to-heart connection. You are seeing the cracks in the utopia. You are being asked to love the flawed, messy, imperfect human in front of you, not just the idealized concept of humanity. Your work is to sit in the quiet of your own singular being, to ask not, "What does the world need from me?" but, "What does my own soul need from me?" This process of fermentation will distill your grand visions into a potent, personal truth that, when you emerge, will be the true medicine you have to offer the world. At the third position, in the heart of the darkness, is Scorpio. You are no stranger to the underworld, to the depths, but this is different. You have not been cast into this darkness. You have been placed here for a sacred purpose. The heat you feel is a low, plutonic burn in the core of your being. It is the slow, metabolic fire of transformation. You are feeling a profound shedding of skins, a death of an old identity that is so complete, so final, it is terrifying even for you. You are fermenting. The raw, powerful grapes of your life's experiences, your passions, your betrayals, your losses, your triumphs, are now sealed in the cask of this moment, and they are becoming something else. The lie has been that you need to control this process, that you need to manage the decay, direct the transformation, hold power over the alchemy. The great vintner is here to take the reins. Your power, right now, lies in your surrender. It says, let go of the illusion of control. You cannot micromanage your own rebirth. The relationships being tested are the ones where power dynamics are at play. You are being shown every place where you have used control as a substitute for trust, and every place where you have allowed yourself to be controlled out of a fear of abandonment. Your task is to become the vessel, not the alchemist. To trust the darkness. To trust the process you cannot see. To allow yourself to be unmade, so you can be remade into something more potent, more pure, and more truly you than ever before. What is dying is your attachment to a false form of power. What is being born is your authentic sovereignty. And now, we arrive at the top two, the epicenter of this energy, the heart of the cellar. These are the signs for whom this transit is not a distant echo, but a direct and personal intervention from the vintner herself. At the second position, we find Leo. All the world is a stage, but the vintner has just turned off the stage lights. The heat you feel is the burn of that absent spotlight. A sudden, shocking invisibility. You who are powered by the sun, by recognition, by the reflection of your light in the eyes of others, are being sealed in the cask and asked to shine in the dark. For an audience of one. Yourself. This feels like a deprivation. It is a coronation. You are being asked to find your value completely and totally outside of external validation. The reversal is this. Your radiance is not a performance. It is your essence. You have, perhaps, forgotten this. You have begun to believe that the applause is what makes you shine. Venus in Taurus is here to remind you that the sun shines because it is a sun. That is its nature. It does not require an audience. The fermentation process for you is the burning away of the need for approval. It is the alchemy of turning performative charisma into authentic, self-sourced radiance. The relationships under scrutiny are the ones that function as your audience, the ones that feed your ego but do not nourish your soul. You are being asked to distinguish between adoration and true, seeing love. Your task is to sit with yourself in the dark, to generate your own light, your own warmth, your own applause. To fall so deeply in love with the truth of who you are when no one is watching, that when the cask is finally opened, your light will be so pure, so undeniable, it would be a source of warmth for the world, not just a spectacle. And this brings us to the first position, to the sign in the very center of the vintner's workshop, Taurus. For you, this is not a transit you are feeling, it is a transit you are. Venus is in your home, walking through your rooms, taking inventory of your life. The heat you feel is the heat of a kiln. You are the clay on the potter's wheel. You are the grape, the press, and the wine all at once. Everything is heightened. Everything is immediate. The stillness you feel is the stillness at the center of a storm. This is your moment of absolute reckoning with your own values. You, more than any other sign, are being asked to look at every single thing you possess. Your relationships, your home, your job, your bank account, your beliefs, your very body, and ask, is this beautiful to me? Is this comfortable to me? Does this reflect the truth of my soul's worth? There is nowhere to hide. The great vintner is holding up a mirror, and you cannot look away. The lie you may have been living is one of complacency. You may have mistaken comfort for happiness, stability for fulfillment. You may have accumulated things, people, situations that are good enough, but that do not make your soul sing. This is the great purge. Not of what is bad, but of what is not truly, deeply, authentically yours. The pressure is immense because the potential is divine. You are being given the opportunity to rebuild your life from the foundation up, based on a new, unshakable sense of self-worth. This is not about acquiring more. It is about aligning with what is true. Your task is to be ruthlessly, lovingly honest. To touch the things in your home, to feel the connections in your heart, to sense the reality of your daily life, and to release with gratitude anything that feels like a stranger, anything that feels heavy, anything that you have tolerated out of a fear of change. You are the master material of this entire cosmic event. You are setting the template for what it means to live a life of embodied value. So now you know where you are in the vintner's process. Whether you are being harvested, pressed, or fermented, the work is sacred, and it is not passive. You are a co-creator in this. So for the next 3 days, as this energy peaks, there is a practice, a ritual to align yourself with this powerful current. On the first day, you will perform the accounting. Take a piece of paper, nothing digital, and a pen that feels good in your hand. Go to a place where you will not be disturbed. Light a candle if you can, and draw a line down the middle of the page. On the left side, write the heading, "What I was taught to value," and on the right, "What my soul truly values." Under the left column, be brutally honest. List the things the world, your family, your culture taught you were important. A certain kind of success, a specific relationship structure, financial security, being seen as good or nice, being productive. Do not judge them. Simply name them. Then, turn your attention to the right side. Close your eyes. Place a hand on your heart or on that place in your body where you have been feeling the heat. And listen. Write down the words that emerge from the stillness. They might be simple things. Silence, the feeling of sun on skin, a specific person's laugh, the freedom to be unscheduled, honesty, deep sleep, real food. This is not a list of goals. It is a list of essences. When you are finished, look at both lists. See the distance between them. This is the space where the work is being done. Do not burn the paper. Fold it and keep it with you. On the second day, you will make the offering. This is the day of release. Look at the left side of your list, the column of inherited values. Choose one that feels the most heavy, the most expired, and find a physical object in your life that represents it. It could be a piece of clothing you wore to a job you hated, a gift from a relationship that stifled you, a book that represents a belief system you no longer hold. It does not have to be dramatic. It has to be resonant. Hold this object in your hands. Thank it for the lesson it taught you. Thank it for the protection it offered, for the role it played. Speak aloud. The contract is complete. I release you with gratitude. And then, let it go. Give it away. Throw it out. Bury it in the earth. The physical act is critical. It is a signal to your body, to the universe, that you are making space. You are choosing the right side of the page. On the third and final day, you will perform the pouring. This is the integration, the act of receiving the value you have just claimed. This day is about radical self-love in the most tangible Taurian sense of the word. It is about pleasure, but not indulgent escapist pleasure. It is about sacred, embodied pleasure. Look at the right side of your list, your soul's values. Choose one, and for at least 1 hour on this day, you will give it to yourself, completely and without apology. If you wrote silence, you will carve out an hour of absolute, unapologetic silence. No phone, no music, no podcasts, just you and the quiet. If you wrote real food, you will prepare or acquire and then slowly, mindfully, savor the most beautiful, nourishing meal you can without distraction. If you wrote sun on skin. You will go outside and simply feel it. This is not a reward. This is an alignment. It is you tasting your own wine. It is you declaring to the universe, this is what is valuable. This is who I am. You did not find this by accident. Something in you, a deep and ancient knowing, recognized the sound of the vintner's footsteps before I ever spoke her name. The restlessness, the ache, the heat, that was your soul knocking on the door of your own life, asking to be let in. What you have done by listening to this point is an act of immense courage. You have chosen to turn and face the truth of your own heart. You are not behind. You are not late. You have not made a mistake. Every single choice, every detour, every heartbreak has created the precise flavor profile of who you are today. The vintner wastes nothing. She sees the drought years and the flood years, the bitter seasons and the sweet, and she knows it all contributes to the depth and complexity of the final wine. So now, I invite you to make a declaration. In the space below, I want you to write one thing from the right side of your list. One true, soul-level value that you are claiming during this powerful time. Do not explain it. Do not justify it. Just name it. Honesty. Stillness. My own hands in the earth. My joy. Your words will be a testament, a flag planted in the rich soil of this new ground. And know this, someone beneath you will read your words, and in your courage, they will find their own. Your declaration is not just for you. It is a gift of permission to everyone else in this sacred digital cellar with us. I spend countless hours in the quiet, listening to the currents of the stars, studying the ancient texts, so that when the time comes, the path can be made clear for you. If this guidance has served you, subscribe and press the bell so you do not miss the next gate when it opens. Trust the process. Trust the pressure. And trust the magnificent vintage that is you.